Today, I want to talk about something that I think will help you not only have great customer service, but also will help you increase your profits and those sales. Hey, badass business owners, my name is Tammy and I'm here to help you grow your business, but more importantly, grow those profits. And I was having a conversation with someone this past week about something that I absolutely love to do. And it's something that I found over the course of my career in multiple different companies and businesses that I find that it is the single most powerful thing that somebody can do to really get themselves in touch and grounded with what their customer experience is, but also with what your employees are seeing and not seeing. And it's a great tool to use with them specifically that will also help them get engaged with the business. Now, you're probably wondering what I'm talking about. So I call it a walk through the eyes of a customer. Now, I know you're probably going, oh, Tammy, I do this all the time and you don't understand. And just hear me out, will you? Just let me walk through this and how I found it to be powerful in some of the things that I used to do, to which will help you use it in your business. Now, I'm going to use examples that are more brick and mortar, but this also works with service-based businesses. You just look at it a little bit differently, and we'll touch on that as well. But I'm going to first start with our brick and mortars because it's really going to help understand it, and then I will go in and talk about how a service-based business can do it as well. Now, I call it the power walkthrough, and here's what's going to happen. If you have a brick and mortar, we're going to use that first. You're going to start by being in your parking lot. And for some of you, it could be just driving into your parking lot, because a lot of people don't realize that the parking lot can actually set the tone for the customer. I mean, if they're having to dodge trash, dodge carts, dodge all kinds of junk before they even get out of their car, they're already having a really bad experience coming into your store. Back in the day, I was famous for doing these when I was with Home Depot, because I just really found these to be so powerful, because you had to dodge those carts and, people and just all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, if I knew that my parking lot was already a mess before they got out, I knew they were already going to have an attitude, right? So, but it worked, because when I had my ice cream shop, which also was a brick and mortar, I had the same issue. It was a very small parking lot, and parking could be difficult for people when they came in. So I always wanted to make sure that they could at least get to the location of the store. Now, before you go inside, you're looking at across the entire location. Home Depot, obviously it was huge and we looked at a bigger place. But when I got to the Baskin Robbins in my ice cream shop, it was, the simplest things. It could be the trash. Okay, the trash is overflowing and whatnot. And for a lot of people who have a brick and mortar, they're not necessarily in charge of their trash. There's a company that does it for the strip center or whatnot. And what happens is the business owner just goes, oh, those people are terrible. They never come change the trash. Well, that might be true, but honestly, do your customers really care who is the person in charge of your trash? No, they're not. So if your trash is overflowing and there's garbage all over the place, it's a reflection of you in your business. And you need to make sure that you are taking care of that immediately. And more importantly, your employees are, because when I talk in a little bit about the employees being part of all of this, you're going to find that you want them getting out of their car, coming into work and noticing that trash immediately. And the very first thing they do is they take care of it, or they let somebody know, or whatever the case may be. So we're not even in the business yet, and we've already got this laundry list of stuff that we probably have come up with, but you're still not going inside. A lot of businesses put signs and other things on the windows. You know what? When was the last time you stopped and you read that stuff? In some cases, like Baskin, they used to make us put up 50 million signs, and it really made the place look like a big giant sign magnet. And it really kind of took away from it. But I want you to go a step further. How many businesses have you walked into where the hours on the door are missing numbers, and you're left to a guessing game as to what their hours of operation are? Or maybe there's tape all over the windows from the last sign that they took down. So I want you to look at the glass. I want you to look at the door. I want you to look at the glass. I want you to look at the building. What are some of the other things that your customers are seeing on a regular basis that you should be taking care of? And you're going to be shocked by this, because I'm telling you, next time you go into a brick and mortar, even if you're a service-based business, I want you to do this. Next time you go into any location, do this simple exercise so you can get the feel of what it is, because it's really easy to pass judgment on other businesses versus our own. And if you do this kind of with another business, you'll kind of see what we're looking at. because you're going to make excuses. And by the way, you cannot make any excuses for your business at all. I don't care if you're shorthanded. I don't care if your whole crew quit the day before. The customer does not care. Okay? And it's important that you hear that. You must do this walkthrough through the eyes of the customer and who does not care. It's just about the experience that they're having. Because if we think about it, we're not even in the location yet, and we're not having the best of experience. And what's happening is we're already forming our opinion of this business. If it's a disaster and dirty and gross and the signs are like half scraped off and there's tape all over the window, what are your instant thoughts of that business? You're going to think that they're not the cleanest of businesses, and it's going to kind of plant a seed. If it's a food business, you're going to think about, oh my God, what's going on with the food? And if it's not a food business, it's a retail establishment, you're going to wonder about the quality of their products and things that they sell as well. So the tone, if you will, has already been set. And this is how it ties into sales and the profits. Because if you're already in that mentality, you're already impacting your sales and your profits, because people are already thinking, this isn't the greatest of experience, and I'm not even in the location. So now we go inside of the building, right? And are we greeted? Is someone even saying hi to us, or do we just kind of roam in? Missed opportunity. Customer service, get people in a good mood, could even potentially offset anything that happened outside of the building. Even before they even got in their car, maybe they were having a bad day, and just that simple greeting. I've told the story before. We have a local gas station called Quick Trip. Some of you guys have those, some of you don't. They say hi to you no matter what when you walk in. And when I had my ice cream shop, that was my thing. Those kids had to say hi the minute they heard that little bell go off with the door. It sets the tone for the way people feel. That doesn't mean you're hounding them as a salesperson. It's just the simple human need of feeling acknowledged when you walk in. So now that you've walked into the building, continue to walk it like a customer would. For a lot of people, it's going to be, are the floors cleaned? Are the tables, if you have a place that is food, what do the tables look like? We went into a McDonald's just a couple of weeks ago, and it wasn't super busy. They had a lot of people running around, but at the end of the day, they had a bunch of empty tables. And you know what? Every single table had garbage and food particles and all kinds of junk on side of the table. So somebody new coming in, we had to clean our own tables in order to be able to sit down. Is that what your customer's going through? Once again, I got this drilled in my early days with Taco Bell when I had my very first job. I was the lobby person. So it probably started back then that to me, it was always about the experience that somebody got when they had some place to go sit down, that we wanted to make sure that they had a great place. And my kids knew, even at my ice cream shop, that you finish what you're doing, run out there, wipe the tables down, and get back to work, kind of a thing. It has to become part of that routine. Keep walking. If you sell products, you know what? Look at them. Are there signs for people to be able to see the prices of things? What if there's a display? Are the displays falling apart? If it's materials and goods that you're selling, can people reach them? Or are you doing things so high, at that 8-foot level that nobody can reach it, even if they stand on their tippy toes, especially who you cater to? That's another big part of it. Average men height versus women height, there's a big difference between that. And if you have a lot of women, the average height is about 5'4", give or take. Can they even reach the stuff that you're doing? So look at the whole experience. I want you to look at everything through their eyes, because this is where you're going to continue to find those opportunities for sales, for profits, money you're throwing away. Damaged stuff is costing you money. You want to look at all of those different things. I even want you to go into the bathrooms. Oh, the bathrooms are one of those things that people knew that, to me, that really sets the tone. Think about when you go into the bathroom at any location when you're in there. And if everything's broken, you can't lock the door, there's stuff all over the floor, the toilets look like they haven't been cleaned in 5 weeks, the sink has got all kinds of nasty stuff in it. I get that things age, but you need to invest in that, because it really sets the tone with what people think about your establishment. Once again, if they're not taking care of the bathrooms, what's it look like in the kitchen? What does it look like in the back? And things start to add up. If I walk in and the signs are all falling off on the windows, the numbers are missing on the time, I come inside and the displays are kind of all tore up and trashed and whatnot, and the bathrooms are disgusting. It's all painting a picture. Can you kind of see what's going on? Because it's saying that you don't even invest in your own business and you don't care about the experience that that customer has. So it really is setting all of that tone. And I could go on and on about this, but hopefully you're getting the point that I've got. Now let's go to where this becomes even more powerful. If you got into the habit of once a week that you grab a different employee and you start in the parking lot and do this experience with them, and you're teaching and training them and helping them see what the customer sees, I promise you that if you make this a regular routine and you keep rotating through all the employees, they will start changing their mentality to see these things that they're not seeing today. And it's going to automatically increase what your store and your business feels like. And it's going to increase those sales and those profits because they're thinking differently. Because now what they're doing is they're thinking like a customer and a business owner all at the same time, because they're looking at those things. Because normally what happens is we go into the business and we start saying, oh my God, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that. And they're like, whoa, boss person, why are you coming at me like that? And the reason is because you're frustrated because they didn't see it in the first place. But I go back to, did you train them? Did you show them? Yes, common sense says you should do that. But we get blinders on when we come into our place of business. And you've had those blinders on as well. I'll guarantee you that if your sign is missing the 11 that you open at 11 o'clock, you probably have been missing that forever and a day. And it's on your, someday I'll get to that. Oh, I'll get to that. I've been meaning to get to that. Well, no, when you do that walk, it goes on your list and you order a new sign. It's not going to cost you more than $10 to get a new sign to be able to put up on your window, and you fix that one thing you've put off forever and a day. And for some of you, it's as simple as buying the little letters and going over to Home Depot or Ace Hardware and getting those things. But do it with the employee. I promise you, if the employee starts seeing what it is that you're seeing, they too will start doing it automatically because you are getting it so ingrained into their heads that they want to do it. And it's going to help your business dramatically, like we said. Now, for those of you that run service-based businesses who are like, oh my God, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that. But you do, because most of your customers start off online. They start off at their Google page. And does that make sense? Does it give them the hours that they want? Then they might go to your website. Is that confusing? Can they get a hold of you? Can they even reach you if they try to use the phone number on there or use the email system? When was the last time you checked that the email actually went to your business? When your vehicle pulls up to their house and they look out the window to see who just arrived, do they look at one that's got the letters all half hanging off and, the bumper all hanging down and all that other stuff? I mean, granted, each business is a little bit different, and some businesses are going to be impacted by that more than others. I mean, if you're a trash dump hauling place, they're probably going to give you a lot of grace when it comes to that. But if you're somebody that's going to be traipsing through their house and your person shows up or your vehicle shows up and it's full of dirt and garbage, and they like, you're supposed to come help my house and clean it and not bring all this stuff inside, it's going to send a mental thing to them as well. And I'm not here trying to tell you to go spend tons of money. I'm just telling you, deferred maintenance continues to grow and make things worse. We've got to get in the habit of staying on top of that stuff to the best of our abilities, because once again, it's the image. You know what? If I'm a service-based business and I go inside someone's house and I do something and I install something or I change something or whatever the case may be, when I leave, when was the last time somebody walked the customer through what they did and showed them that they cleaned up after themselves, that they made sure there was no trash? I remember one time someone came to my house and they were doing something on the back patio or something like that. And they just said, hey, we're done. And we're like, oh, okay, thanks, great. We went back out there, like, I think it was the next day, only to find they left all of their trash and their garbage all over. That's right. It was by an air conditioner. And they left everything in the backyard of all the boxes and stuff that they opened. They forgot to take it with them. And meanwhile, you know what? That was what we walked out, and now we have to throw all that away. It's not about the fact that I have to throw it away. It's about the fact that I shouldn't have had to throw it away, because that sets the tone with what you think about the business, where it goes. And it's just not me. It's everybody. We set tones with people all the time. And if you don't believe me, you guys all hate when people write crap about other businesses on Facebook or Nextdoor or anything else. But when was the last time you actually paid attention to what they were saying? I'm not saying that them getting on there and blasting everybody in the thing is right, but did they have a right to kind of be a little upset by what happened? In some cases, no, but in other cases, yeah, they did. Because if somebody went into their home and they left a mess, or they failed to put something back, they took a cover off and they never put the cover back on, that customer has the right to feel bad and to be upset with it. Now, should they call the company back and give them the opportunity to fix it and all that? Yes, I'm not debating that piece. But what I'm saying is that post never would have happened had the job been done correctly in the first place. Once again, it's the customer experience. And once again, where it hurts your sales and your profits is because people are going to tell people about their experience, whether it's service-based or it's brick and mortar. People are going to share that experience, especially in today's world. Yes, it was easier 20 years ago. Get over it. We are in the world of social media, and people are going to tell their friends, and their friends are going to tell their friends, and it's going to blow up. It might go viral. You know, one of the folks that I talk to on a regular basis for coaching, you know what? He had his whole business blow up over a pack of ketchup. Is something that blew up and became something viral, and he had to do some damage control on it. He didn't even know about it until it blew up. And it was a simple little error, a new employee made, young person. You know, it was something minor, but it became something big really quickly. And the same thing happens in our stores all the time, and it happens in our businesses all the time. So please, whatever you do, try to start getting into a regular basis that once a week that you are walking through your business through the eyes of a customer, at minimum once a month. But if you're brick and mortar, I recommend it every week. And if you're a service-based business, I encourage you to do it at least once a month. I'm telling you, you guys are leaving sales on the table, you're leaving profits on the table, and you're having customers go through things that are preventable. Things are going to happen. Things are, you know, we're never going to get this to be 100% perfect, but why allow people to have an experience that is completely preventable if we just did these walkthroughs and we just did these checks and we brought our employees into it and helped them see it and help retrain them through the eyes of the customer? I'm telling you, it's going to make a huge difference in your business. And if you don't believe me, try it for a month, and I promise you, you are going to notice a huge change. And with that, I'm going to get out of here, and I will talk to you next week. Bye for now.